We are literally killing ourselves. Part 1. The system that profits from sickness. We live in the most advanced medical age the world has ever known. We can edit DNA, grow organs in labs, and send people into orbit, yet we've never been more chronically ill. Obesity, diabetes, anxiety, depression, autoimmune disease. Our modern epidemics have become so common that sickness now feels like a normal stage of life. We're told it's genetics, bad luck, or just getting older. But according to physician and researcher Casey Means, that story is a myth. In Good Energy, she and her brother Callie lay out a simple truth. Our health crisis is not random, it's engineered. Because sickness is profitable. Every diagnosis feeds a machine designed not to cure, but to maintain. Doctors are trapped in 10-minute appointments that end with a refill, not a resolution. Food companies fund nutrition science that keeps us addicted to sugar, seed oils, and shelf-stable chemicals. And the pharmaceutical industry, as Dr. Brian Ardis points out, is structured to reward repeat customers, not recovered ones. We spend more on healthcare than any nation in history, yet rank near the bottom in life expectancy. The cure isn't coming because prevention isn't profitable. Think about it. The same corporations that sell you breakfast cereal also sell you insulin. The same conglomerates that advertise antidepressants run ad campaigns for the ultra-processed foods that destroy serotonin in the first place. As Dr. Andrew Huberman has explained, our biology is being rewired by an environment of artificial light, artificial flavor, and artificial reward. Dopamine spikes, crashes, repeat. Your brain becomes a slot machine, and every pull pays someone else. Meanwhile, we're told this is freedom choice progress. But it's not progress when 88% of adults show signs of metabolic dysfunction. It's not choice when the options in front of us are all designed to keep us coming back. Ben Greenfield likes to say, you can't outperform poor recovery. Yet most of us are living in constant recovery trying to bounce back from the food, stress, and screens that drained us the day before. We call that normal. It's not. We treat fatigue with caffeine, stress with alcohol, anxiety with scrolling, and loneliness with delivery apps. We've replaced real connection with convenience. And convenience, as Wim Hof warns, is killing us softly. He says we become allergic to discomfort, when in fact, stress used correctly is what keeps the body alive. Instead, we avoid the cold, the silence, the hunger, the hard work, all the things that signal resilience to ourselves. Look around. We're surrounded by abundance, yet starved for vitality. Our ancestors faced predators and famine. We face blue light notifications and 2-for-1 drive-thrus. Different threats, same outcome. Survival mode. So where does this end? Do we just keep adding pills to offset the last pill's side effects? Do we keep pretending a detox tea will undo decades of metabolic debt? Dr. Ardis calls it the illusion of care. We think the system exists to heal us. In reality, it exists to manage us. We are a population kept just well enough to work, consume, and comply. And every time we look for rescue from the very institutions that created the problem, we feed that cycle again. But something in you knows better. You can feel the dissonance, the gap between what you were promised and how you actually feel. You weren't designed to wake up exhausted. You weren't built to rely on stimulants to get moving and sedatives to fall asleep. Your body isn't failing you. It's reacting logically to a world that's out of sync with biology itself. Huberman calls it environmental mismatch. Our nervous systems are still wired for sunlight, movement, community, and purpose. But our lives are dominated by artificial light, processed food, isolation, and noise. We've created an ecosystem that rewards sickness and punishes vitality. Here's the uncomfortable truth. No one is coming to fix it. Not the government, not the hospitals, not the influencers selling shortcuts, because they can't profit from your independence. But the moment you start questioning, really questioning the narrative, the spell begins to break. You realize that the most radical act of rebellion in modern life is to feel good. Because when you reclaim your energy, you stop buying what they're selling. When you sleep deeply, eat simply, and breathe intentionally, you become ungovernable by the system that feeds on fatigue and distraction. This isn't conspiracy, it's capitalism, and it's working exactly as designed. So the question isn't, how do we fix the system? It's how do we free ourselves from it? The answer begins with awareness. Awareness of how your environment shapes your chemistry, your thoughts, your choices. As Ben Greenfield teaches, awareness creates agency, because once you see the pattern, you can reprogram it. That's where the rewire begins, but we're not there yet. Because before you can rewire, you have to confront the full scope of what's been done to your body and mind, and that's where things get dark. Because hidden inside the story of food and pharma is a quieter, more dangerous truth, one that connects profit, policy, and population control in ways most people aren't ready to face. What if the same system that thrives on your sickness has also been shaping what you believe about health itself? What if the science you trust was never designed to make you well, but to make you dependent? And what if the real antidote isn't another supplement, another prescription, or another guru, but a total reboot of how you live, eat, move, sleep, and think? They built a world that thrives on your exhaustion. But what happens when you stop playing along? What happens when millions of people begin to wake up and ask the one question the system can't afford to answer? That's what we'll explore in part 2, the rewire. Because the truth about health isn't complicated, it's just been hidden in plain sight. Episode 1, Part 2, the rewire. In the last episode, we asked a hard question. What if the system that profits from your sickness was never meant to make you well? That realization is heavy. It shakes everything you've been taught to believe about health, food, and medicine. But here's the good news. You are not broken. You're simply disconnected. Disconnected from light, from movement, from rhythm, from nature, and from truth. The system that made you sick has trained you to outsource your instincts, to fear hunger, to avoid discomfort, to medicate symptoms instead of understanding them. But underneath the noise, your body is still listening. It's still capable of extraordinary repair if you learn how to reprogram it. This is the beginning of that process. This is the rewire. First rewire, food as information. Let's start with food, because food is not just calories, it's code. Every bite you take sends instructions to your cells, turning genes on or off, deciding whether your body builds or breaks down. As Casey Means writes in Good Energy, your body is like an electrical grid. When you eat nutrient-dense, unprocessed foods, meat, fish, vegetables, eggs, fruit, you power your mitochondria, the batteries of your cells. When you eat sugar, seed oils, and ultra-processed chemicals, you short-circuit them. Most people are running on faulty wiring, fueled by glucose spikes, crashes, and insulin resistance. That's why you're tired after lunch, why you crave sugar at night, why dieting never works long-term. You're trying to heal a system that's literally starved for signal clarity. The fix isn't counting calories, it's counting quality. Eat real food. Protein, healthy fats, color from nature. As Ben Greenfield often says, you can't hack your way out of garbage inputs. The simplest diet, single ingredient, unprocessed, ancestrally recognizable, is the ultimate biohack. And when you change what you eat, your body doesn't just lose weight, it changes identity. You stop being the victim of cravings and start becoming the architect of your biology. The second rewire, fasting and metabolic flexibility. Now let's talk about when you eat. Fasting isn't starvation, it's software maintenance. As Dr. Andrew Huberman explains, your metabolism isn't designed for constant feeding. When you go without food for 14 to 16 hours, your body activates autophagy, a cellular cleaning process that removes damaged material and makes room for regeneration. For millions of years, our ancestors didn't have access to constant snacks or 24-hour drive-thrus. They cycled naturally between feast and famine, and their biology adapted to thrive that way. Ours can too. Start small, 12 hours overnight, then 14, then 16. During those fasting windows, hydrate, breathe, move, walk in the sun. You're not depriving yourself. You're reminding your body who's in charge. And when you break your fast, break it with intention. Protein, healthy fats, minerals, and whole foods, not seed oil, pastries, and caffeine. When you reclaim your metabolism, your brain clears, your inflammation drops, your energy stabilizes. You remember what normal was supposed to feel like. The third rewire, light and sleep. Next, light. Huberman calls light the most powerful drug we take every day. Morning sunlight is the signal that calibrates your entire hormonal system. It sets your circadian rhythm, balances cortisol and melatonin, and even impacts insulin sensitivity. Most of us wake up in darkness, look at blue screens, and live under artificial light all day. We've blinded our biology. The fix is free. 10 minutes of direct morning sunlight. No sunglasses, no glass, no filters. Move your body while you do it. Then at night, do the opposite. Dim everything. Avoid bright white and blue light in the last 2 hours before bed. Your phone's not just stealing your attention, it's stealing your recovery. Ben Greenfield calls sleep the original performance enhancer. It's when your brain detoxifies, your hormones balance, your muscles rebuild. If you're not sleeping deeply, you're not rewiring. You're rebooting a broken system every morning. Make sleep sacred. Dark room. Cool temperature. No late night scrolling. If you do one thing this week, do that. The fourth rewire. Breath and stress. We can live for weeks without food, days without water, but only minutes without breath. And yet most of us never think about how we breathe. Wim Hof teaches that breath is the remote control of your nervous system. When you slow your breathing, you slow your thoughts. When you deepen your breath, you increase oxygen, raise pH, and shift from panic to presence. Try this right now. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale slowly for 6. Do that 10 times. That pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the one designed for calm and repair. Stress doesn't kill you, your reaction to it does. And the breath is how you rewrite that code. Start your day with 3 rounds of deep breathing. End it with 1 round of gratitude breathing. Inhale for what went right. Exhale what no longer serves. Simple, free, life-changing. The fifth rewire, belief and autonomy. Finally, mindset, because none of this works if you still believe someone else is responsible for your health. Dr. Brian Ardis says it bluntly, you can't outsource accountability. If you depend on the system to save you, you'll always be in the system. But when you take ownership, when you decide that health is a skill, not a service, you unplug from dependency. You begin to see through the illusion. As Callie Means said in an interview with Joe Rogan, the biggest act of rebellion in modern life is cooking your own food and going for a walk. That's not just metaphor, it's revolution. Because every healthy choice you make is a vote against the machine. Every night of deep sleep, every glass of clean water, every fast, every breath, every moment of sunlight, it all sends a single message back to the system. I am not for sale. This is the rewire. It's not a product. It's not a plan. It's remembering what your body already knows. The system doesn't win when you're strong. It wins when you're numb. So wake up, reclaim your biology, and remember, the most radical form of freedom is feeling good. In the next episode, we'll go even deeper, mapping out the daily blueprint to reprogram your energy, focus, and longevity using the same science the system has been hiding in plain sight. Because awareness was the first step. Rewiring was the second. Now comes the third, mastery.